Buenas tardes, amigos. Desde este Centro de Recursos Educativos de la ONCE en Madrid, soy su director, Germán Moya, y el Centro de Recursos es uno de los 5 centros que tiene la Dirección de Educación de la ONCE, repartidos por toda España, y que coordinan el apoyo educativo a los alumnos y a las familias, pues de todos los alumnos, de todo el alumnado ciego deficiente visual que atendemos. Hablar en estos pocos minutos de la atención a familias, ¿qué hacemos? O cuál es nuestro modelo, cuál es en qué ponemos el acento. Pues es complejo. Nosotros siempre que tratamos con familias, tratamos con uno de los pilares fundamentales para poder llevar a cabo nuestra labor, para poder llevar a cabo la labor de intervención, de apoyo educativo, de conseguir la mejor autonomía personal y la mejor integración social del alumnado allá donde esté. Y para eso es fundamental el apoyo, la colaboración, la complicidad, que es un término que me gusta mucho utilizarlo cuando hablamos de familias, entre los profesionales que intervienen y las propias familias. Por eso abordaremos la intervención bajo 2 perspectivas. 1, la búsqueda de esa complicidad, de ese trabajar conjuntamente en el apoyo educativo, en el apoyo para que estos alumnos salgan con todos los recursos necesarios para que promocionen su autonomía personal y su inclusión social. Y por otro lado, la intervención directa con estas familias necesaria en muchos casos. Esta intervención se ve muy claramente cuando uno, puede ser mi caso, ha pasado primero por la etapa de ser hijo, de ser adolescente, de tener una discapacidad compleja o poco conocida, que llega a la familia también, que se ven sin medios, que se trata como un tabú, y que a veces pues se le da la espalda, ¿no?, a la propia discapacidad. Este tipo de situaciones es bastante normal y son muy sufridas por parte de los padres. Yo cuando llego a la madurez y cuando soy padre, soy capaz de entender mucho mejor cuál era el punto de vista o la perspectiva o la manera de actuar de mis padres. Y conociéndola mejor es cuando me interesa mucho la parte de intervenir con ellos, para evitar que ese sufrimiento que tienen los padres también se traslade a los hijos, porque tanto los padres se sienten muchas veces culpables de que el hijo tenga una discapacidad, como el hijo de ver el sufrimiento en los padres, ¿no? Y esa situación debe ser mucho más fácil de desbloquear, y por eso atendemos a la intervención directa. Por lo tanto, entenderíamos esa intervención como para evitar, sobre todo 2 cosas que se pueden producir. Por un lado, la sobreprotección, que no es buena, porque al final lo que nos hace es ser seres menos autónomos, ser seres menos felices, ser seres menos integrados en la sociedad, ser seres menos comunicados, menos activos, sentirnos menos provechosos también, y todo tiene que ver con lo mismo, y eso hay que evitarlo, de evitar esa sobreprotección, ese cuidado que mi hijo tiene una discapacidad, que nadie me lo toque, que esto lo tenga todo fácil, que no, la vida no es fácil para nadie, y con una discapacidad pues a lo mejor es menos o igual, pero hay que sobrepasarla. Entonces, atender la sobreprotección es fundamental. Y por otro lado, también otra circunstancia que se puede dar, que es la contraria, la delegación. Bueno, pues he tenido una criatura que tiene una discapacidad visual, pero bueno, afortunadamente hay técnicos que ellos se encargarán de que mi hijo, de que mi hija sea autónoma, consiga moverse y tal. Esto es una cosa que yo no me puedo ocupar, y por lo tanto se ocuparán los técnicos. Error también. Es un proceso, por lo tanto, que necesitamos conjugar la actuación técnica, la actuación profesional, con la actuación, la colaboración, y vuelvo al término, la complicidad de las familias. En este sentido, pues es importante mantener con ellos una comunicación directa, presencial cuando se puede. Bueno, estamos viviendo todos, como buenamente podemos ver, la situación telemática, pero cuando se puede tener esa relación, esas jornadas de familias que organizamos jornadas de familias precisamente para que se reconozcan como familias, como personas, como colectivos que tienen varias cosas en común, y una de ellas es que tienen a un niño, una niña con una discapacidad visual, a la que atienden en el seno de su familia, y que tienen problemas y pasan por diferentes vicisitudes comunes a todos. Eso lo vamos viendo, por ejemplo, en la primera reuniones donde suele haber, encontrarse varias familias, suelen ser muy emotivas, porque, bueno, pues arrancan un poco todo lo que tienen dentro cuando hablan con los psicólogos, cuando hablan incluso en los propios actos de acogida a la institución, que citamos a varios padres, pues siempre pues, se ven identificados en el otro, sale, es muy emotiva. Y después ya poco a poco pues van integrándose, se van haciendo colectivos, se van haciendo estas jornadas de familias que puede ser por diferentes etapas educativas, por diferentes intereses comunes, y es muy interesante ver cómo poco a poco pues se va eliminando todos esos obstáculos. Y después también todo lo que tiene que ver con la parte informativa. Es fundamental la información. Y la información no puede quedarse en su momento eran cartas, después eran correos electrónicos, pero de forma indiscreta y para todo el mundo, no. Tiene que ser una información, entendemos, así lo entendemos, y de hecho lo hemos puesto en marcha este año, una información en la que el objetivo, el receptor de la información se sienta vinculado con esa información, es decir, una información discreta, una información directa, con un objeto concreto para esas familias, para esos colectivos de familias, y además una información que nos permita tener un reporte, nos permita que sea bidireccional y que nosotros podamos también saber, tener el pulso, saber qué necesitan esas familias, cuáles son sus demandas, cuáles son sus necesidades, etcétera. Si además a eso le sumamos la posibilidad de una información, digamos, de carácter general, a modo de red social, de tipo Facebook, dentro de una misma aplicación, con todos los sistemas de seguridad, por supuesto, además estamos hablando de menores, pues además llegamos a que se conciban como un colectivo social al que puede ir dirigida esta información y además se reconozcan, por lo tanto, y colaboren y cooperen entre ellos, cosa que es fundamental. Para eso, como digo, hemos puesto en marcha una aplicación, una herramienta en la que se consigue esto, poder enviar información muy dirigida a los colectivos a los que queremos enviársela, sean convocatorias, sean reuniones, sean, en fin, una información más de carácter general, y también la posibilidad de hacer sondeos, la posibilidad de que ellos nos envíen información y de poder hacer preguntas para mantener esta comunicación. Yo creo que es fundamental tanto esa información como esas jornadas que hacemos con las familias, que nos sientan cerca a la hora de ser las entidades que promocionamos, que intervenimos en el apoyo educativo y en el apoyo en las áreas de especial dificultad que conlleva la discapacidad visual de sus hijos, y que nos vean cercanos, muy cercanos, que nos vean como unos agentes que están a su disposición, y que nos vean cómplices necesarios, pero cómplices. Al final, sin ellos, sin las familias, es imposible que lleguemos a buen puerto, y por tanto es fundamental su colaboración. Y yo paro aquí, creo que he querido dar una visión así muy general un poco de cuál es nuestra intervención, esos dos factores, y ya quedo a vuestra entera disposición para cualquier pregunta que queráis hacerme. Muchas gracias y buenas tardes.
I am Bosco from Rwanda and a founder of Blessing School for the Visually Impaired, BSVI. In addition, I recently became one of the members of the International Association of Parents of Children with Visual Impairments as parent advocate leader, not only in my country, Rwanda, but also in Africa and beyond. My dear listeners from all over the globe, in the next 10 minutes, I am going to share with you about parental involvement in education, especially for children with visual impairments. I will first begin with what inspired me to get involved in this education. Secondly, I will tackle on obstacles faced by parents with blind children, and then move to what are being done to involve parents in the education of their children, and finally conclude with the future perspective. Let's first begin with inspiration of creating the school. The idea of creating a school for visually impaired inspired by our first daughter, namely Blessing, a survivor of triplets that were born prematurely. Her physical problems at birth left her blind. My story made me to reach out to the parents with no means to educate their visually impaired children. With the little means we had as a family, the school was established in 2015 with 5 children, and now we have that 2 children. Having shared the inspiration of creating the school, there are also obstacles faced by parents with blind children in Rwanda. Having a disabled child is considered as a taboo. Some consider parents to be sinners, or they have been bewitched. Because of this, some parents prefer to hide their disabled children in their homes, and therefore these children do not enjoy their rights, including education and playing with others. Only school in Rwanda can accommodate children with visual impairments. According to Rwanda Union of the Blind, RUB, 1.2% of children with visual impairments are the only ones in nursery school, 8.6% are high school graduates, and 17% are blind with vocational skills. Parents believe that educating their disabled children is losing money because even after school remains a problem of higher unemployment rate. It is not easy for the blind children to get white canes because they are expensive and rarely found on the local market. Despite the inclusive education policy in place, there are still few teachers trained in Braille. Having pointed out obstacles, then what are we doing to involve parents in the education of their visually impaired children? To respond to insufficiency of schools, especially for the visually impaired children education, as a parent created a school to help children from poor families to access education. We have organized meetings for local authorities to advocate for visually impaired children education. We have held parents with their children forums in which blind people who succeeded their education came and testify about the importance of education. The forum brought remarkable change in their lives of visually impaired children in their respective homes and at school as well. The parents got an opportunity to interact with blind who succeeded in life as a result of education, such as Dr. Patrick and Dr. Betty. Parents came to learn that disability is not inability. The number of parents who bring the children to school on time increased as a result of the forum. My colleagues and I conduct home visits to encourage parents to allow their children to access education. Some educated parents who have visually impaired children lead mobilization activities through the media to advocate for the blind and the visually impaired children. Then, what are our perspectives in the future? We have already initiated the Blessing School for the Visually Impaired Construction project, and fundraising is underway for this fact. Once completed, it will allow the school to welcome more visually impaired children and conduct an inclusive education. To continue to carry out awareness, raising activities for children's rights through home visits, meetings, forums, and media, fundraising in partnership with several donors for education of visually impaired children, according to the saying, education equals hope. Thank you for your attention. BSVI is grateful for everyone's support.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alvin Teo. I'm from Malaysia, and I'm the member of IAPVI since year 2006. I'm here today to present to you my personal story and also how do we parents communicate globally via IAPVI. This is my family. In the middle here is my son. He was born blind and he is now 21 years old and studying in the local university here in Malaysia. On my right is my wife, Miss Gore. She's a full-time housewife since my son was born. According to Datuk Dr. Amar Singh, who is the famous pediatrician in Malaysia, he said there are 5 stages of life for persons with disabilities. Here, I would like to share Ernest's journey based on this model. Ernest was born in year 2000, and within 24 hours he was born, he was diagnosed with PHPV, persistent hyperplastic primary vitreous, on both of his eyes. Both his lenses damaged, and there are a lot of massive vessels inside his eyes. Within 40 days old, he went through the procedure to remove his lenses and also the massive vessels inside his eye. We raised him up like typical kids, as we were from a small village near to the border of Thailand towards the northern part of Malaysia. When he was 3 years old, we moved to Penang for more accesses of services to support persons with disabilities. When he was 3.5 years old, my wife started to learn Braille and she teach Braille to Ernest at the same time. Ernest entered preschool at 5 years old and finished at 6 years old. When he was 6 years old, he is already proficient in Braille and also reading Braille. He entered the special school at the age of 7 years old until 9 years old. After that, he followed the inclusive educations in the regular setting environment in a normal school, starting 10 years old until he finished his secondary school. So besides schooling, he also started to integrate with his sighted peers and pick up the more advanced communication skill and also living skills. When he was in his secondary school, he got a chance to go for international English Braille reading competition in Thailand, and he managed to bag the first runner-up. He is now entering the stage 4, still very beginning for him. So according to Dato Dr. Amar Singh, stage 4 is talking about transition after school, going to college, university, vocational training, employment, or unable to work. So for Ernest, he got a very good start, whereby he managed to get the scholarship to follow the 6 months student exchange program in US. And after he returned to Malaysia, he followed the pre-U study in a local college, and he finished within 2 years' time. And immediately after he finished his pre-U study, he got another opportunity to go to China for 2 weeks study visit under the sponsorship of Changchun University from the northern part of China. So that is where he is right now, and he is the local university student for three and a half years. So after finish, then he'll go for the next level of his life. From this model, okay, the stage 5 is talking about there are few possibilities, okay, when the parents are no longer around with the child with the special needs. There's a possibility that the child will be independent living, or working in the sheltered workshop, or supervised living, or require lifelong support. In order for us to keep going and keep moving forward, there are few principles that we are following. The first one is from Walt Disney. He said, if you can dream it, you can do it. The second one that we are following is the slogan from Nike, just do it. We believe if we do our due diligence, many things are possible. So that is a short story about the journey for Ernest. Ladies and gentlemen, the second part of my presentation is how do we parents communicate globally via IAPVI. First, we fully utilize the ICT platform, namely email, Zoom call, WhatsApp chat group, phone call, YouTube, Facebook, website, and etc. With this ICT platform, we are getting closer to each other. For example, with a Zoom call, on one page, we can see everyone on the screen, regardless of where are they coming from, and we can talk to each other from different parts of the world at the same time. Secondly, parents attending the meeting during the global conferences like World Blind Summit, the Parent Congress, the webinars, etc. And today, with the online platform, we can allow more parents to join the global conferences. Before the pandemic, parents also visit from a country to support parents in another countries. In progress right now, we have IAPVI website. I will explain more later. Also, we are going to launch the IAPVI survey. This photo is about the IAPVI leaders regular Zoom meeting that we have it almost 2 weeks once, or at least once a month. You can see in the middle here, Susan from USA, Doreen and Angel from the Netherlands, Rosemary, Ellie de La Paz from the Philippines, we have Bosco from Rwanda, Africa, we have Gila from Israel, and myself from Malaysia. PAVIC Online Parents Congress. This Parent Congress participated by parents from Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Bhutan, India, USA, and many other speakers from different parts of the world. Parents leaders sharing during global conferences and meetings. So many of us attended the World Blind Conference, World Blind Summits, in the past, and today we are here again to attend the World Blind Summit in Madrid. So sometimes during the conference break, we also host the parents leaders meeting, and also we take an opportunity to share our story and our good practices during the conferences. Visit by parents from a country to support parents in another country. So we have Susan here visited China and helped the parents in China to set up the National Chinese Parents Association. Myself, I went to Philippines, Manila in year 2008 to attend their second parent congress. This is another example that Mary and Wayne from Philippines visited the parents in Bhutan. This is the group photo that they took after the few days visit to Bhutan. IAPVI website map. This is in progress right now, and we are towards the final stage of this website developments. So right now we are working with the technical teams and also the IACVI to see how can we put this and publish this website for IAPVI. Roughly, I would like to share with you what can you see from our website. You have landing page whereby you will see the notes on my life is a story about the people with the visual impairment from various countries in the world. Home is about the logo, vision, mission, objective, and who are we, IAPVI. And we have the membership sections to capture the members from different regions on the globe. We have calendar to capture the news, the conferences, the events, webinar, workshop, and the parents' activities around the world. This is a very important section, parents' educations and informations. We'll be gathering good practices from parents around the world. We'll have notes from conferences, webinars, workshops, and we're also going to link up our website to the website from different parent associations and also the service provider in the world. We are going to have blog with the title Talk and Touch as well. So in the gallery sections, we'll have testimonies, videos, success stories, events, researches, past landings pages, tactile book, gallery or library. And in the last sections, we have the contact information from different parts of the world for parents or anybody who would like to contact us. Once the website completed, we'll share the link to everyone for you to visit our website. The next thing in progress that we are going to launch is IAPVI survey. The purpose of this survey is to identify and reach out to more parents and parents associations from around the world. We would like everyone to be a part of our network that aims to provide emotional support to parents, to share the wealth of knowledge and expertise by experience from parents around the world. And the question asks will take about 10 to 15 minutes to complete. And all the responses will be strictly kept confidential and for IAPVI's internal use purposes only. There are a few target participants for this IAPVI survey. Individual parents or family, parents associations, agency or service provider, and professionals who are supporting the children and people with the visual impairment. With that said, I would like to launch the IAPVI survey during this World Blind Summit in Madrid 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Google link for you to reach out to our survey. Please help us to promote this survey to the target participants that I mentioned just now. Thank you for listening. And to end my presentations, I would like to share a short video clip from my son Ernest together with his friends Sean Yu. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your presentations. Germain from ONSE gave example of how important agencies of and for the blind services are to partner with and can be a great support to families and youth who are blind and visually impaired. Bosco, father who founded a school that became a solution to not only help blind children realize their potential, but also to let parents know, in his words, that blind children are not made for begging, but to contribute to the well-being of society. Alvin, our closing speaker, it was great to hear your family story of involvement in raising your son. Alvin's also a strong leader with the International Parents of the Visually Impaired in developing our website that will be launching in the new quadrennium. It's also wonderful to see fathers' involvement in parenting with strong leadership and advocacy. Oftentimes you see more mothers with strong involvement worldwide. Alvin's son Ernest gave a perfect gift to his father by playing the violin, the song, "You Raise Me Up," and it goes on the lyrics, "So I Can Stand on Mountains." The best compliment parents can get that their children can do things because we believe in them, quoted by Angel.